Okay, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. It is 5 o'clock here in Japan, so let's get started. My name is Nikos Karonen. I'm Community Director at Nordic Innovation House here in Tokyo. And thank you so much for joining our Nordic and Japanese Cleantech Solutions pitch showcase that we are running together with Osaka Innovation Hub. I'm going to give it a few more seconds for people to tune in. And while doing so, let me explain the technology that we are using today. So this is a Zoom webinar. I'm sure many of you are quite used to it by now, which means that as members of the audience, your mics and videos will be muted during the event. But please do use the Q&A button that you can find from the toolbar. So after each pitch, we will have time for a couple of questions that you can ask from our pitching companies today. We will have 3 exciting Nordic companies as well as 3 Japanese companies pitching, and I will go to the agenda very briefly. And we are also recording today's session, and we will be sending an inquiry form after this event. So if you're interested in getting in touch with the companies that you see today, please fill in the inquiry form, and together with Osaka Innovation Hub, we will facilitate those introductions for you. And once again, thank you all so much for joining. And let me go to the agenda of today. We will kick off with a couple of introductions to Nordic Innovation House, also Osaka Innovation Hub, and our co-sponsor, GVH. After that, 3 pitches from the Nordics, 3 pitches from the Japanese side, and then some closing remarks. Once again, my name is Nikos Karonen, Community Director at Nordic Innovation House, and one of your co-hosts for today. But without further ado, or Megumi, would you like to say something from Osaka Innovation Hub? Just a hello.
Hi, Nick, thank you for introduction, and hello everyone, and welcome to all of our guests. My name is Megumi Ishitobi from Osaka Innovation Hub. And as this is our very first collaborative event with Nordic Innovation House Tokyo, we are very delighted. This is a great opportunity to share our startup environments and market insights. So we are very excited. So let's have fun also today.
Thank you, Megumi-san. Let me briefly introduce you to Nordic Innovation House and Nordic Innovation House Tokyo. We are a pan-Nordic collaboration project between the 5 Nordic countries, being Finland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and Iceland. We are supported by Nordic Innovation and the Nordic Council of Ministers, and we have a mission to scale the best of the Nordics. So we work together with Nordic startups, scale-ups, and growth companies who are interested in exploring, expanding, and scaling within Japan. We're also present in other countries as well, and our locations are Silicon Valley, New York, Singapore, Hong Kong, and as of May this year, very excited to be also present here in Tokyo, where we see a lot of interesting opportunities to bridge our innovation ecosystems. And this is the team. We are represented by the 5 trade promotion offices here in Tokyo, being Business Sweden, Business Finland, Innovation Norway, Promote Iceland, Embassy of Denmark. And I am in charge of our operations. And once again, those who joined late, my name is Nikos Karonen, and I'm the director of this project. Just a few insights about the Nordic startup ecosystem, as we have a lot of Japanese audience today as well. You might know that we have quite a bit of unicorns coming from the Nordic countries, 23 altogether, which makes it the highest number of unicorns per capita per region after Silicon Valley. We also have a high density of scale-ups, as well as one of the highest R&D investment by GDP in Europe. And we see a lot of strengths in the Nordics that Japan is looking for innovations, such as green tech, smart cities, health tech. Hence, we're having a clean tech event here today. We're also very happy. We're happy to be in the top 10 World Happiness Score, all the Nordic countries. And recently, we've seen an increase of investments from Japan to the Nordic startups. We had around 20 cases just last year. And even during the COVID times, we're happy that there's been some investment traction between the regions. And here are just some of the companies that you might recognize, some selected startups and unicorns who are active here in Japan as well. Games, music, food delivery, whatnot. And for the Nordic Innovation House itself, we are a platform for companies to scale and grow. We work with cutting-edge, unique, innovative, tech-intense companies, Nordic companies who are willing to put time and effort into exploring Japan as one of their markets. I will not go through everything in this slide, no worries there, but these are the main offering that we give to our member companies, mainly network access, support from the Nordic agencies available, access to community, and also company visibility, priority in showcasing opportunities such as the one that we have today with Osaka Innovation Hub. But we cannot do everything by ourselves, so we partner with trusted partners. We can run collaborative events, seminars, webinars, matchmakings, share information, share networks, and also promote each other's activities. And I want to take this opportunity to also already invite you to our next event, which will be on the 18th of this month. We are collaborating with Shonan Health Innovation Park and Takeda Nordic Innovation Hub on a health tech topic. So we have again 4 very exciting Nordic companies pitching to some of the Japanese health giants. So please do also join us already on the 18th as well. And here you can find our contact information. Please give us a follow. We have also just recently launched a new Japanese Twitter as well. I think we have around 5 followers, so I think it would be great to have a few more. And please feel free to reach out with any collaboration ideas, or if you're interested in the Nordic startup ecosystem, I would be very happy to tell you more about it. But that would be it from the Nordic Innovation House side. Next, I would like to hand it over once again to Megumi-san from Osaka Innovation Hub for a brief introduction to your services and activities. Thank you again so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Nick, for a great introduction of Innovation House. And so next, I'll be giving you an overview of Osaka, its innovation ecosystem here, and then Osaka government's startup and innovation initiative. Let me share the screen. Okay. So first, I'd like to talk about Osaka Innovation Hub. Osaka Innovation Hub is where entrepreneurs gather to help each other, take on global business challenges, and to innovate. It was established by Osaka City in 2013 and has been supporting various startups and connecting great entrepreneurs with one another for several years. It's located in the heart of the city and has easy access to and from everywhere, headquartered in the ground front Osaka building at the Knowledge Capital Tower. As a hub, we bring together entrepreneurs, investors, major corporations, mentors, universities, and accelerators. We have 2 categories of membership. The first are called players. They are individuals who are entrepreneurs, startups, and young aspiring innovators. The second category of membership are called partners. Partners work in concert with OIH to support the members of the player category. They are usually large corporations, investors, VCs, universities, and other governmental agencies. Our membership players, along with numerous entrepreneurs from Osaka's innovation ecosystem, participate in events that are conducted on a regular basis. These events include, but are not limited to, pitch events, hackathons, workshops, acceleration programs, open innovation gatherings, and international conferences. One of OIH's strong points is the ongoing stream of both domestic and global pitch events that we hold constantly throughout the business year. Additionally, we also hold the world-famous international conference known as Hack Osaka, drawing over 500 of the brightest minds from around the globe. As of July 14th of this year, Osaka, along with its sister cities, Kyoto and Kobe, was designated as an official global startup city. Osaka is part of the Kansai region, which has in total a population of 21 million, 2.7 of which are residents of Osaka City. A strong collaboration between Osaka City and its various partners provides varied support for entrepreneurs, thereby creating an impact environment. This, of course, facilitates a continuous flow of incubation, support, and scaling with the focus of assisting young startups reach solvency. Altogether, this sets the stage for a great chance to launch an IPO in the global marketplace. Osaka is a wonderful city with a prolific startup ecosystem, low running costs for doing business, reasonable costs of living for developers, engineers, startups, and all types of cutting-edge business people. In that spirit, Osaka is opening its doors even wider by launching a startup visa program in which one-year visas will be granted to young innovators, helping to fast-track your integration into the city's business community. If you are looking to set up your shop in Japan, Osaka is the place you really want to be. With an eye towards the future, I'd also like to add that in 2025, the World Expo will be held in Osaka with the tagline, "Designing the Future Society of Our Lives." This upcoming global event, hosted here in our area, is already attracting leading technology companies and designers from around the world. Get a head start in joining us for this landmark technological, societal, and business event here in Osaka. Our role here at OIH is to give you a helping hand in navigating our network and ecosystem, which includes accelerators and VCs, governmental organizations, manufacturers, and support services. We want you to get your business up and running as soon as possible. In short, we are here to help you achieve your ultimate success here in our city, region, and country. Thank you for your attention. So now let's invite our co-host partner, Global Venture Habitat. So Takano-san.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, nice to meet you, everyone. My name is Natsuki Takano from Hankyu Hanshin Properties Corporation in Osaka, Japan, and I'm in charge of GVH5. And today I show you the highlight of our approach to startups. And please look at the movie first. Okay.
Corporation are a conglomerate that develops businesses in various fields, including urban transportation, real estate, entertainment, travel, international transportation, information and communication technology, hotels, and more. The Hankyu Hanshin Holdings business is based in Osaka, Japan's second largest city. With excellent accessibility, it was ranked the most livable city in Asia. In addition, Osaka Prefecture's GDP is equivalent to that of Norway, while the GDP of the Kansai region, of which Osaka is a part, is equivalent to that of the Netherlands. The Kansai region has prestigious universities and research institutions, one of which is Kyoto University, the alma mater of 8 Nobel laureates. It's also a business hub and is home to global companies, including Panasonic and Daikin. Hankyu Corporation's founder, Ichizo Kobayashi, was an entrepreneur who built railroads through mountainous areas. Then, along those tracks, he built residential areas, department stores, a musical theater, and more. By developing a wide range of businesses, he enhanced people's lives and added value to the land along the tracks, creating a business model that was ahead of its time. Having inherited his mindset, we aim to continuously increase the worth of cities and areas along the tracks through creative thinking. The area between Umeda and Osaka Station in particular contains many of our real estate assets and is a hub that connects Kyoto, Kobe, and other major cities. To reinforce its competitiveness, we are actively supporting a wide range of entrepreneurs. One of the initiatives is a members-only office called GVH5. It offers a community for not just entrepreneurs, but university personnel, investors, specialists, and other professionals, creating an environment that tackles both the soft and hard aspects of business.
I skip. Okay, here.
As a new initiative, we are working with Rainmaking, a group that supports entrepreneurs in more than 20 cities worldwide, on a program that is designed to accelerate the business of entrepreneurs selected from around the world. Called Startup Bootcamp Scale Osaka, it will be held at GVH5. Entrepreneurs from about 10 startups will receive 3 months of intensive mentoring from local experts and engage in workshops and verifications tests with Hankyu Corporation and its corporate partners, with the goal of building collaborative partnerships.
Okay, and now let me share the screen. Okay, and as the movie says, we Hankyu and GVH5 provide places and opportunities to startups, and a startup bootcamp is one of the examples. And if you are interested in expanding your business in Osaka, Japan, please contact us. We'd love to support you. And I have another introduction today. Global Innovation Conference called Hack Osaka will be held online on February 18th. There will be keynote speech, panel discussion about the potential of Osaka Kansai in Japan. And also the international pitch contest will be there. Now we're accepting applications and we are sorry, but there are 3 more days more. But we report the applications by startups in the field of smart city, healthcare, and food tech. If you are interested in this event also, please go to our website. Yeah, that's all from me. Thank you. And can I back to you, Nicolas-san and Megumi-san?
Yes, thank you, Takana-san. So we have 3 more days to apply for Hack Osaka.
I'm sorry.
All right, and very exciting initiatives going on in Osaka. So we're very happy to collaborate with you all. But next, let's move on to the main part of today's program. So we will be starting the pitching sessions. How this will work is that we will have first 3 Nordic companies pitching. Each pitch will be for 7 minutes, and then we have a few minutes time for Q&A. So during the pitch already, please use the Q&A button that you can find from the toolbar, and we will be facilitating the questions and answers after that. And after the Nordic pitches, we'll then move on to the Japanese ones. But without any further ado, I would like to introduce the first company on stage, which is also a Nordic Innovation House Tokyo member company, Bergen Carbon Solutions. Bergen Carbon Solutions is a manufacturing and supplier of carbon nanofiber, and their technology uses CO2 as the key raw material. So please, the CEO of Bergen Carbon Solutions, Mr. Jan Sagmo, can I please have you on the digital stage? And if you can share your screen and unmute yourself. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know if I should have the video, but I can't start the video. So, but that's okay. I can share the screen. Okay, there you go. Can you see the presentation now?
Looks great. Go for it.
Okay. Thank you so much for the opportunity to present the Bergen Carbon Solutions to you guys in Japan. So as Nicolas said, we are a company that produces carbon nanofibers from CO2. And this is who we are. So the company was founded by me, Jan Børge Sagmo, and my co-founder Finn-Britt Svendsen in 2016. These are some of the people working with us. We have now our 11 people working in Bergen Carbon Solutions, and from everything from production to legal and chemical engineering to mechanic and R&D management. So what's the problem? 38 billion tons of CO2 each year and global warming. When I presented this slide, I used to say that I have endless with CO2 to produce the nanofibers because there's so much of it. And we need companies like us and others to do something about this issue. So the solution is that we take the CO2 into the production unit you see in the middle there, and we produce what you see on top, carbon nanofibers, and we get oxygen gas. The unit is modular based. That means if we have full capacity of one of them, we can just put another one and another one and another one. It is 2 40-feet containers with 2 reactors. Will be built at our location and put together at customer or emission site. The capacity of this one is 60 tons of CO2 per year and manufacturing of 12 tons of carbon nanofibers each year. In Norway, we have free CO2 and hydropower, but since not all the countries have hydropower, we also are going to have solar panels on the rooftop to be self-sufficient when it comes to electricity. This is our factory site here in Garnes. We use pressurized bought CO2 today. We go into the production unit, and after the carbon nanofiber is produced, we take them to a purification unit who optimize the nanofibers afterwards because we get some amorph carbon. And after that, the O2 is cooled down, and we have a CO2 analyzer to make sure that when it comes to production, that there's no CO2 in the O2 when it comes out to the vented duct. This is our value chains. Bergen Carbon Solutions have headquarters in Bergen, and we have now a project there. We are going to have our CO2 next to a waste plant to see if we can produce nanofibers from flue gas. And it goes to 3 different types of customers that we have. We have the CG3, who are basically research and development customers who wants to use our product but not sure why. Then we take our product into the R&D and research people into the research and help the customers to build products. And the CG1, we have also customer that using carbon nanofibers today produced from the conventional methods like chemical vapor deposition or electrospinning. And we have the CG2 are companies like a French company that we're discussing with that have the flue gas and also wants to use the nanofiber into their products. They can take what they have and need in their product, or they can sell it to CG1 customers afterwards. So the market for the carbon nanofiber is estimated valued about $420 million in US. So there are some huge players producing carbon nanofibers today, and they're selling in international market. And these are the competitors that we have. And when I see this, this is competitor and market analysis made by PricewaterhouseCoopers. And we see that there are major players producing and selling nanofibers. There's a big market for it. But we can see also that there are a few or none others that produces this from CO2. The biggest competitor is Algae Chem, and then using chemical vapor deposition. This is at their factory, and they have big plants, and we are having 2 40-feet containers stacked on top of each other. Also, the analysis also showed that the main competitors are located in North America and in Asia, of course, and also because there's the biggest market of nanofibers as well. So our products, 100 times stronger than steel, lighter than plastic, and conducts electricity better than copper. These are some of the pictures we take from the last week's production. It's nanofibers it's taken with a scanning electron microscope. Since the product is that small, you can see that we need to enhance it really much times, and that also makes the product really unique when it comes to characteristics like in batteries, composites, aluminum, and so on and so on. So these are the customers that we have today. These are Norwegian, and some from Orange is from China. Starboard is based in Bangkok, and Biode Electric and Cleantech and Gateland are Norwegian customers. But of course, it can also be used in the automobile industry, sensors, sports equipment, oil and gas industry, medicine, and batteries. If you take like if you reduce the 10 kilo of a car, you reduce the carbon, the CO2 footprint with 1 gram each kilometers. So if the average car drives between 10 and 15,000 kilometers, and say just in Norway are there 1 million cars, the footprint can be reduced drastically. And also in Japan, there are a lot of cars. If every car could be 10 kilograms lighter, of course, then the CO2 footprint will be much smaller. So this is the container. This is a waste plant management center here in Bergen, where we have our first production unit. It's going to be standing there from Q2 2021. This is and we take the flue gas, produce the nanofibers, and we ship it to customers. So by the year 2022, Bergen Carbon Solutions is trying to be a world leader in manufacturing and supplying of green carbon nanofibers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jan, for the presentation. And now if we have any questions from the audience, we would have a bit of time. Maybe while waiting that, I'm interested to hear maybe a little bit more about the timeline that you have in mind. What are the next steps?
Okay, we are working on the next funding round. We are getting between 4 and 7 million euros, and we start producing the first upscale production unit in January, and it will be finished by Q2 2021. And we are producing carbon nanofibers in the test factory every day, and now we are in between 2 and 5 kilograms a week, but we are scaling up that one as well to go from 10 to 20 kilos a week with the nanofibers there as well.
Okay, we have one question from the audience. Thank you for an interesting pitch. What is your originality comparing with other competitors?
Yeah, that's the thing, that we produce the nanofibers from CO2 despite having CO2 emission. And since we are CO2 negative and the product has this unique characteristics, it's making our product and the customer's products more greener and better when if you use our products as an additive, say for instance in composites or in batteries, like in lithium-ion batteries.
Thank you. We have time for one more question. Kartik is asking, what is your revenue model?
Yes, our revenue model is to produce and sell carbon nanofibers. If we have, like say we have one of our units in Japan, because we want to be near the customers. If the customer have the flue gas, we can take the CO2 from the flue gas produce the carbon nanofibers, and the carbon nanofiber go into the production of in the factory that we are going into. So that's the main goal, to sell the nanofibers to the world market. And the price range from nanofibers today is between 450 euros to 1100 euros per kilogram.
Okay, thank you, Jan, so much for your presentation today. That was 10 minutes, so we will be moving on to our next presenter. If I can ask you to stop sharing your screen. And
yeah, I'm trying to, there you go, stop sharing.
Thank you so much. And next, it is my pleasure to invite another Norwegian company, Compact Carbon Capture, whose mission is to decrease the cost of CO2 capture and to make it easier to deploy carbon capture equipment. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce to the stage the CEO of Compact Carbon Capture, Mr. Torleif Madsen. Torleif, if I can ask you to share your screen and unmute yourself. Thank you.
Yes, I believe I'm on mute, and I will try to share my presentation with you all.
Looking good. Feel free to get started.
Super. First, I would like to introduce the company. Albeit we are a fairly young company, founded in 2018. The company is based on a project initiated by a Norwegian oil company back in 2008. So we have been performing research and development and technology maturation through the last 12 years. And the main development is made through Fjell Technology Group, which should be familiar to a large part of the Japanese fishing companies. We also produce protein extraction technology, process technology for fish meal plants, and have delivered a lot of them in Japan, meaning we are familiar with both the Japanese culture and the Japanese way of doing business, and deeply appreciate the way we are relating with our Japanese customers. Throughout the last years, we have been named and awarded in several occasions. We were a part of the Spanish oil company Repsol accelerator program. We were one of 4 technologies invited to the OGCI Climate Investment Day in Chicago, and we also were named Energy Innovation Pioneer by the world's main energy event, CERAWeek, in Houston in 2020. And our technology is basically based on the same principle as conventional CO2 capture, like you would find in Mitsubishi Heavy Industries or other current providers of such technologies. We have an absorber where the flue gas is entering into, and it's the flue gas is released from the CO2 through adding solvents. The difference in our technology is that we are using high G-forces to distribute the solvent, and very briefly explained, this would reduce the retention time needed between the flue gas and the solvent, so we could build the absorber much smaller. And then the loaded solvent is taken into a stripping unit where it's heated to release the CO2. And on these items, we have combined a reboiler and a desorber into one rotating pressurized unit. And the effect by process intensification is significant when you look to conventional technology. So this is the world's largest test center for CO2 capture, TCM Mongstad. It has the capacity of 100,000 ton CO2 per year from refinery flue gas, which is approximately the same as you would find in most industries. The height of this tower is approximately the same as the Leaning Tower of Pisa, so it's quite large towers. And this is the stripping tower where you strip the CO2 from the solvent. The 3C plant, albeit being very much smaller, has more than twice the capacity. So if this could capture 100,000 tons, this could capture 200,000 tons of CO2. And then in addition, the stripping tower is intensified, and we have put it inside a standard 40 feet container. So this is basically what you need to capture CO2 from most of the industrial sites you would find. And we have already been experiencing a lot of interest from the Japanese industry due to the reduction plans for a 30% CO2 reduction ahead of Japan in some time. It would allow for a very easy retrofit due to the size and the weight. It was originally planned to fit on offshore installations, so it's a very compact and lightweighted plant. We find that we have 4 key features. Of course, the available space needed will be significantly less when you have a 75% reduction in size. And then by utilizing less steel in building, we could reduce the capex as well. As Bergen Carbon Solutions mentioned, module-based scalability is the future. So instead of tailor-making production unit, we're also scaling these by modules. And that would, of course, lead to reduced costs. It would allow us to have digital twins. It would ease the deployment because you could invest in one module and then scale up when you need to increase the capacity for CO2 capture. And due to the high G-forces, we could utilize a lot more viscous and efficient solvents, also reducing the OPEX for CO2 capture. This is a brief slide of the module scalability. We could capture from 10,000 tons per year, which is equivalent to some emissions you would find on a ship. And then we could scale up to large industrial emissions by adding on standardized strategic sized modules. This is our current pilot capturing 7 tons of CO2 per day. And our plan to develop further is that we are building an industrial demo unit with a capacity of somewhere between 30 and 40 tons per day in 2021. This would also be equivalent to capturing CO2 from ships with the exact same size. And we believe that in the end, this is revolutionary for many markets. The technology is well known, or the chemistry is well known, so the perceived risk in technology is fairly low to our customers, and the process technology is dimensionally improved from the conventional technology, which actually was invented in the 1930s. As mentioned, we're also looking into fitting this on ships. We have a pre-feasibility study for a shipping actor completed this month, and we have a potential demo lined up in 2022 with a potential market readiness for this application of the technology in 2023. For the industrial large unit, we find that it would be ready for market in approximately 2024 in the large scales. But from 10 to 50, 60,000 tons per year, it would be market ready in 2023. We are not building these ourselves. We are collaborating with a well-known, globally present EPCI contractor. So the process guarantees, the service and maintenance and everything would be provided by a well-known existing actor within the process technology contracting. I believe that was conclusive for my presentation, and if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them.
Yes, thank you, Truly, for your presentation. We're very much looking forward to the demo and happy to hear about the pre-feasibility study. Indeed, if we have any questions, we will have a bit of time, so please feel free to use the Q&A button that you can find from the toolbar if you have anything in mind. In the meanwhile, maybe if I can ask, who would you see are your main competitors? Is there something similar in the market?
I believe that due to the increasing market of CO2 handling, it's likely that we will be seeing a lot more new technologies coming to the market. For now, the technology providers we find as competitors are Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, Fluor, Shenkalsov, and a lot of the large players been in this market for years. So we are disrupting their process technology.
Thank you. I see we have one question more on the business side. What is the margin that you make per unit, if you can answer?
I think that would be, of course, dependent on several things, and of course also for the specific case. If we're capturing from very thin concentration CO2, we need to build larger equipment to capture the same amount of CO2. And if the cost per ton or the provided income per ton is the same, the margin would probably be higher the more concentrated you have in the CO2 flue gas.
Thank you. Maybe one more last question we can take. What is the impact of your product or service on society as a whole? What are you contributing?
We need to reduce the CO2 emissions, and we consider us a band-aid to some points of emission whilst looking for other CO2 or decarbonizing strategies. And for others, it's the only alternative to capture the CO2 because there are no alternatives on the production side, removing the CO2 prior to releasing it. So the impact would be to contribute to stop of the global warming through preventing CO2 to enter into the atmosphere.
Thank you so much, Shirley, for your answers. We need to move on. There are still some questions, but we will send the inquiry form after this presentation. So if you want to be in touch with any of the companies, please feel free to use the inquiry form and take the discussions forward from there. But thank you, Shirley, so much for your presentation. And next, I would like to introduce the third and last Nordic company for today's pitching event, which is Greenbyte from Sweden. Greenbyte's products help owners of renewables make informed decisions that drive increased production of renewable energy. So it is my pleasure to introduce you to the CEO of Greenbyte, Mr. Jonas Korne. If you can please unmute yourself and share your screen and put the video on. Thank you so much.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Jonas, and I will be talking about Greenbyte today. And it is a pleasure to almost be in Japan. It's as close to Japan as it's possible to get right now, I think. Okay, so here we go. Can you see my screen, Niklas?
Everything looks great.
Okay, so I will be switching gears a little bit from our previous presenters who were talking very much about hardware, and I will be talking more about software. So we build software that is really at the core of the transition to renewables. And when I say renewables, I mean primarily like big scale wind farms and big solar plants, big battery plants, and these are being built all over the world right now at a very rapid scale. And this is going on, if we zoom out a little bit and talk about energy as a whole. If we look at energy as a whole today, we have, we're roughly here, and with this whole coronavirus thing, the world is consuming a little bit less energy right now. And it looks like the energy consumption for the future is not going to increase a lot. But what is going to increase a lot is electricity as part of this energy consumption. And electricity is this part here. And so rapid electrification. And where is all of this electricity coming from? Well, it's coming from those wind farms and solar plants that we saw before. And that can be seen in world electricity generation by technology, where all of the growth here is basically solar and wind. And today we have less than 30% of renewables in our that is creating electricity. And in 2050, people think, or the International Energy Association thinks that about 68% is going to be renewable. So this is going very, very fast. Now, if I move on to the next slide, our mission as Greenbyte is to be the best software platform to optimize renewable energy production so that our customers can invest in renewables and then use the data presented in Greenbyte to really get as much energy out of those renewable energy plants as possible. So we have this little picture here, and this picture describes basically what we do. And at the top left-hand corner, we have the consumer. And as a consumer, we don't really care so much about where our electricity is coming from. It can be coming from nuclear power, from wind power, from solar power, from hydro, whatever. Whenever we want to turn the lights on, we want to be able to turn the lights on. But with a lot of renewables in the electricity system, it becomes a little bit more complicated because, as you know, solar plants can only produce electricity when it's sunny, and wind can only produce electricity when it's windy. So we become dependent on the conditions of nature, basically. But we as consumers don't really want that. We want to be able to turn the lights on. So what's going to happen is that there's going to be many forms of storage. And we looked at the big battery before, and there's going to be batteries all over the place. So at Greenbyte, what we do is we help our customers to collect all of the data coming from the wind farms, from the solar plants, and in the future also from batteries and hydro. We get this into our cloud software service, in which we combine data from the asset with other data sources that are also needed to operate a renewable energy plant. This is weather data, power forecasts, data coming from substations, power prices, and we put all of this data together so that our customers can actually produce as much energy as possible and generate as much revenue as possible. And we have come to realize that there are a lot of smart people working in this space, and a lot of those people are doing things that are close to what we're doing, but not the same thing as we're doing. And in order to speed up the transition to renewable energy, we want to make those smart people have access to data. So we have created what we call a marketplace, which is basically a way for other innovators to get access to the data that we have in Greenbyte, if our customers accept to share that data, of course. So you can think of it as like an app store on top of the Greenbyte platform. Some figures today, our portfolio of installed assets in Greenbyte is 35 gigawatts. And maybe that doesn't say a whole lot, but in the world, there are 1,200 gigawatts of wind and solar. So about 3% of all wind and solar is installed in Greenbyte. And a few of our customers are here. And one thing that you will notice is that they are basically spread out all over the world. And that's one of the curses and benefits of starting a company in Sweden, is that Sweden has 9 million people. So it's very small, and it forces many startups to be international from day one. And this is something we have truly experienced, in that we needed to go outside of Sweden in order to sell our services. So when we think about our product and where we want to take our product, we think about 3 frontiers. So the first one is open, in which we want to be able to help our customers to assemble all of the data that they need and provide the basic analytics that they need in order to operate their assets. The second frontier is to be smart, to basically use data in smart ways that are applying new forms of technology like machine learning in order to suggest to our customers what they should be doing based on a large data set. And the third frontier is to become autonomous, basically utilizing the data and the insight to control the asset itself. So basically to be able to tell the asset that electricity prices are now negative, and to then tell the asset to shut down, or to tell the asset to start to store electricity in a battery and to wait to deploy that electricity until prices are higher. So long term, what we want to do is to create an autopilot for renewable energy plants. And right now we are about in the advanced analytics stage. So we have a few more steps to go until we can get all the way there. And being a software company, we've also come to realize that it's important to have a lot of data. So we are very much out trying to build out the install base so that more data can give better insight to our customers. And we are excited to be to be now here almost in Japan, because we think Japan is a super interesting market. It's more interesting than many other countries because it's an island nation, which means that it's quite isolated from other countries, and that electricity really needs to be generated within Japan. And we see a lot of island nations that have been very successful in deploying renewable energy plants. So in 2019, we made our first trip to Japan, and we signed our first customer in Japan, I think about a year ago. So with that, I'd like to stop and open up for questions.
Thank you so much, Jonas, for your presentation. You actually have already answered one, which was about why Japan is an interesting market. So it's great to hear that you also signed your first contract here. Congratulations. We have one more question about your business model. If you can tell us a little bit more about your revenue generation.
Yeah. So when we designed the business model, we thought that it was important to align ourselves with the interest of our customers. And many of our customers will be owning their assets for a long time, 10, 20 plus years. And so we decided to charge based on the number of megawatts installed in our platform. So we do that on a subscription basis, and provide basically an annual subscription to our customers based on the number of megawatts that they have installed in the system.
Okay, thank you so much. Maybe we can take one more question. What type of companies would you like to approach in priority in Japan? Or who would be your main target clientele here in Japan?
Yeah, so the owners of renewables tend to be a few different types of companies. The one type of company is utilities, which are generally quite large companies that generate electricity and sell electricity to the consumer. We also see that oil and gas companies are becoming more and more interested in renewables. And we have a new kind of company that's called independent power producers. These are oftentimes smaller companies that have pension capital that they invest into renewable energy plants. And our, let's say, golden customer are independent power producers. Those are the perfect customer for us, and we have a lot of experience in working with them. And secondly, utilities would also be, and oil and gas companies that are interested in renewables. So independent power producers, utilities, and oil and gas companies, I would say those are the main companies that we would approach.
Okay, thank you so much, Jonas, for your answers. And we will need to move on with our agenda for today. Thank you for introducing Greenbyte to us. And that would be it from the Nordic side. So I would like to hand it over to Megumi-san from Osaka Innovation Hub to facilitate the Japanese startup presentations. So please, Megumi-san, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Nick, and then thank you for the all startups from Norway and Sweden. Thank you so much, and it was great. And so now we would like to start our Japanese startup pitch. Once again, each startup will have 10 minutes, 7 minutes for their presentation, followed by 3 minutes Q&A session. So the first presenter is Water Design Japan, and the second presenter is AC Biode, and the third presenter is GS Alliance from here. So now allow me to present Water Design Japan. The company produces a special water pipe nozzle that creates ultra-fine bubbles. These magical bubbles can be used in a variety of use cases. So now let's hear about ultra-fine bubble technology. Please welcome Natsumi, the CMO of Water Design Japan. Natsumi-san, お願いします。
Hi. Well, thank you so much for the introduction. And let me share my screen. Okay. All right. So again, thank you for the introduction. My name is Natsumi, and I'm one of the co-founder of Water Design Japan. So let me start with the problem that we are trying to solve. So the problem we're trying to solve is those slimy dirt that you can find around the water pipes. And this is very annoying, and this could find almost anywhere, like hospital, factory, home and building, almost everywhere where it has pipe and use water. So literally everywhere. And most of the time we use chemical to clean this, but that's not the best solution. And the solution we have is different. We use the technology called ultra fine bubble, and we have developed the world's first ultra fine bubble generator nozzle technology. So it has cleaning effect. This is without chemical. This is no rubbing or anything. And this is the ultra fine bubble effect. So what is ultra fine bubble is that it is a nano sized bubble. You can't see with your eyes. So the number is around like 0.00001 millimeter. And it does a brown motion, which is like in a picture. And because of that, it can stay in the water for a very long time. And a lot of Japanese scientists has been studying and searching about this technology, and has been proved several positive effect has been tested and reported. And those are the four as for now. And the first one is cleaning effect, and growth promotion, and coating effect, and gas distillation effect. This is a lot. So today I like to focus talking about the cleaning effect. So why the small bubble can have a cleaning effect is that the very tiny nano-sized bubble, it has the negative electricity around it. It can go underneath the dirt cell to remove the dirt from the bottom. And we have done some experiment, like case studies. So we use for the station bathroom water pipe, and the left picture is a very dirty pipe. We done this test at one of the most busy station in Tokyo called Shinjuku Station. It has many traffic. A lot of people use that bathroom, and it's very dirty inside of the pipe. And there's no way to remove this dirt, because if we use chemical, it's just gonna kill the pipe and we cannot go inside. So we run the ultrafine bubble for 100 hours and it got removed. And the other case we use for the hospital use cases, and this white part is a scale, includes calcium, and by using our technology we were able to reduce the amount of chemical usage and a frequency. And this result was published at the Japan Dialysis Doctor Conference in last year, and the benefit for the hospital is the 80% of the reduce of the maintenance cost, not just the chemical but also the frequency of changing the filter. which is very expensive. And also it's better for the patient because it use less chemical. And one more thing, it's eco-friendly. And introducing our product, ultra fine bubble generator nozzle called UFB Dual. And our got a patent, and since our are approved as a water pipe, it can installable after the water meter, so that all the water coming into your building or facility will all transform into ultrafine bubble. And this is not us trying to solve this problem. And also a big enterprise company like Toshiba has launched a ultrafine bubble laundry washing machine. And other company in Japan has been launching bathtub or shower head and so many other consumer product, but it just that like singular product. But our is a nozzle, it can implement into a water pipe, so all the water will be transformed into ultrafine bubble, and our safety and power wise and the maintenance wise a lot stronger. And it has been used more than 5,000 places in Japan. And we are bootstrapped, and it has been used so many different industries such as cooking water manufacturer, energy company, healthcare, factory, food processing, and so many more. And right now we are looking for partners, and in those three particular area as for now. First one is a factory. We have several POC ongoing for mainly for cleaning and gas distillation part, for energy manufacturing, food processing, and the majority client we have is a building. It could use for a apartment building or a stand family home or a single apartment. Any type can be useful. So if you're looking for a partner for those distributors and stuff, will be nice. And also hospital use. Our technology has been used for the equipment cleaning and also dentists and stuff. So these four are the benefit by collaborating, by selecting our product, because we have a lot of stuff going on, and we have achieved like to reduce the amount of chemical usage and stuff. So it has a lot of benefit and potential by collaborating with us to use our product, we believe. And our team is not big team, but very strong. Our CEO is a serial entrepreneur, has been done a business overseas as well. And our product founder, he's a former CEO of Mitsubishi Chemical Cleansing. He has a deep knowledge about a water related thing. And myself mainly does marketing and global expansion. And we've been trying to not just stay in Japan, but expand this technology into global market. And we've been going for a pitch contest such Startup World Cup 2020, and we won the pitch, and we also received the Century Special Award. And we also selected for Plug and Play, which is the global accelerating program for IoT section. So we've been talking with several partners in Japan and also overseas as well. So if you're looking to work with us, please let us know. And Tiny Bubble to enrich our lives. If you have any question, please reach out to us. And thank you so much for listening.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. If you have any questions, please type in your question in a Q&A chat box. So we have one question, Natsumi. How are you implementing IoT in this device?
So right now we are standalone device. So no like software, those like IoT is not merged yet, but we are trying to collect a lot of data, like how much chemical by using our technology, those partner were successfully like reduce, or how much time they could save because less time for cleaning and stuff. So we want to collect those data to merge with the IT.
Okay. Thank you. Any more questions? Okay, one question from me. This water pipe nozzle, it could be used in any countries because other countries has different water conditions. So how do you work with that?
So it depends on the country regulation when it comes to like product shipment and stuff, but we can customize depend on the sizes and materials. So for example, some country uses sea salted water for bathroom waters, and we can customize for those use in order to not get the nozzle get rusty in the future and stuff. So it could work in any way, and we can figure it out for that as well.
Okay. So thank you. So we are running time for the QA. So one last question from the audience. Have you investigated your product's potential in desalination plants? Have you investigated your product's potential in desalination plants? Desalination plants.
I'm not sure that word is, but probably I believe like energy related plant.
I think it's
Do you know the meaning in Japanese?
Datsuen in Japanese.
That's it.
Desalination.
Where you remove salt, I believe.
これ海水淡水化です。
ありがとうございます。海水淡水。はい。
Yes, like yeah, we have done that. Sorry, like water for shrimp farm, and also like in Vietnam they use what is it? Tansui. Not the normal waters.
Okay.
Done that as well. And we can customize in order for those use as well.
Okay. So thank you so much. So if you have, I'm sorry, we couldn't answer all of your questions, but if you have any questions, we're going to send you inquiry form after the event, which is on Wednesday. So please reach out to us, and we're going to forward the question to Water Design later. Thank you. Thank you, Natsumi.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So we would like to move on to the next presenter. So next presenter is AC Biode. This company has developed the technology and processes to recycle waste ashes, reducing its cumulative harmful effects. Their concept and unique approach is called Circulite. Let's hear more about this new groundbreaking product. Please welcome Mr. Kubo, CEO of AC Biode. Kubo-san, お願いします。
はい。Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Hi. I'm Tadashi Kubo from AC Biode. Our startup has different projects, such as developing the batteries and chemical catalysts. But today, I'd like to introduce this product, Circulite, to recycle coal ash and biomass ash into multifunctional chemical products. So the problem is from coal-fired power plant and biomass power is that the ashes include lots of heavy metals, and it costs a few million euros every year just to dispose these ashes. So majority of the ashes go to landfills or convert into cement or asphalt for construction. But this is very low price, and typically power plants needs to pay for waste management companies to turn them into cement or asphalt. So it's costly, and also environmentally it's harmful because ash flying around, which causes the air pollution. So not only for the ashes, but also, of course, there are several problems related to COVID-19 and also air pollution from the factories as well as power plant. So what we do is we turn the ashes into chemical products, and these chemical products will be materials for filters to improve soil for agriculture, as well as filtering for nuclear power plant or industries. So how it looks like is that this is a multifunctional chemical product, mainly for absorbing harmful substances, such as physical substance or chemical ones from the air, from the water, or from the soil. And we have already completed 2 projects, one in Japan and one in Taiwan. and we are looking for potential clients or partners. How we do business is that we provide our engineering to owners of power plants or independent power producers or IPPs. So these clients will have to arrange procurement of the machines and also construction for EPC, engineering, procurement, and construction. But we can calculate, do a basic engineering and also do entire engineering for these construction and facilities. So how we can compete is that we are the only one in the world that can turn the ashes into multifunctional chemical products rather than into cement or asphalt. The second competition we have that while equivalent products are zeolite or activated carbon, the production cost is lower than them, as well as absorption capability is twice 200%, I'm sorry, 100% better than the existing products. So we have already commercialized. We are now looking for expanding in Europe, mainly for coal-fired power plant and also biomass. And after that, we want to tackle for incinerators, ashes from incinerators, such as from municipality waste or any kinds of waste, because incinerators have lots of ashes, thousands of tons every year. So here, traction we have. So as I mentioned, we have completed 2 projects. One is that Chubu Electric Power, one of the largest utility companies in Japan. And we turned coal ash into the chemical products that are being used as air filtering systems within the factories. The other project we have done is from biomass ash from rice. And we make the chemical products for, again, filters, deodorant, cosmetic products, as well as beauty products. And they are selling these products mainly in Taiwan, China, and Hong Kong. So here our team, we have 5 members, combined 17 years in this industry of power, as well as chemistry. So we are well balanced between business, finance, and engineering. So we have 4 engineers, mainly on engineering, material science, as well as chemistry on this conversion from ashes into chemical products. So once again, so we are ready to start this commercialization. So looking for potential clients or maybe local distributors or agents, as well as potential investors in the future we are looking for. Yes, so that's all for now, and I'm happy to answer your questions.
Thank you, Kubo-san. Thank you for your presentation. If you have any questions, please type in your question in the Q&A box. Okay, so when we are waiting for the questions, I would like to ask one. This coal ash, any kinds of ash can be used for these products?
Yes, as long as they are from coal power or biomass power, yes, we can accept any kinds of ashes.
Okay.
And when it comes to ashes from incinerators, such as waste incinerators or the other types, that we need to test because we haven't commercially done yet. But probably we can accept them as well.
Okay, thank you. Because different places has different ashes from different, how to say, industrial waste. So I just got curious. So, but
yes, of course, yeah.
Okay, thank you. So we have questions from the audience. Nick, can you see the Q&A box? I can't really open that right now.
Yes, I think there's someone was trying to type something, but apparently it seems to be missing a few lines.
Okay.
Okay, I think we received the rest of it. So we have a question. I understand coal ash contains AS and Cd. How do you handle these?
Yes, we have some special technology to remove all the heavy metals toxic to the environment. So we cannot create any heavy metals into the final products as a chemical products. So it's completely environmentally friendly. I can't explain in more details right now how to remove them, but we have technology and engineering to removing heavy metals.
Okay, thank you. So we would like to move on to the next presenter, but other questions, we're gonna forward it to Kubo-san later and then answer your questions. And thank you for your presentation. And this Circulite is very interesting. Everybody, if you can search Circulite, AC Bio, there is a video of experiment. It's very interesting. Please check it when you have time. So we would like to move on to the third last presenter. Is GS Alliance, the company developing 100% biomass-based biodegradable resin instead of petroleum-based plastic. They are also developing cutting-edge rechargeable battery technology, such as a lithium sulfur battery, which has a 5 times higher capacity than lithium-ion batteries. So please welcome Mr. Mori, the CEO of GS Alliance. Mori-san, お願いします。
どうもありがとうございます。Okay, thank you very much for your guidance and opportunity today. My name is Ryohei Mori, and thank you for the opportunity today. I would like to introduce my company, the Green Science Alliance. We do the research and development of a cutting-edge material in the field of energy and environment green science. The topic I'm going to today is not only bioplastic and a rechargeable battery. Could be 4 or 5 topics, but it might be too much for just short 7 minutes talk, but I'm going to just speak up as much as possible. And any question, technical question, detail, I'm very much welcome to answer to your questions later. Anyway, so the problems are such like, obviously the plastic pollution, marine microplastic problem. Let's say it's all the modern societies are based on a petroleum society, gasoline, fuel, plastic resin, paint, coating, rubber, all the chemical products are made of petroleum nowadays. But I'm just trying to make it, all these chemical materials, make it from the biomass, and also biomass, the renewable energy electricity. So more precisely, for example, just initially the bioplastic, we have developed various type of the biomass biodegradable resin, and resin as a raw material, and also like molding products like this, and pretty much made all the molding procedures are possible with our material. Injection molding, film grading, fiber, yarn. For example, like this is also, we also have a powder, micro beads, and this is also nature made. And for example, this looks like a PET bottle, but this is 100% nature biomass made biodegradable bottle. For example, I'm trying to replace all the PET bottle in the world with my products, for example. And this is this right lower picture is artificial fingernails that for ladies, cosmetics. It's made of, again, 100% nature biomass. This recent product is very much getting interested, and recently the newspaper, media, TV is going to introduce my material recently. So the competitor to others, let's say initial one is my products are 100% biomass and no petroleum. While keeping the 100% biomass, we can do various type of the molding. So that's the number one point, because usually they need to add the petroleum-based additive to be able to do the mass production with the molding procedure. Anyway, so besides, we use the biomass waste as raw material, nanocellulose composite. And let's say for COVID-19 issue, that I have added the antibacterial effect to our product. So let's say a biomass-based not only plastic, but also the resin, coatings, adhesive, paint, ink, color, rubbers, all the chemical products made of the biomass. No more, let's call it no more petroleum. So my technology is registered at United Nations Technology. Anyway, so next topic is the bioethanol production. Nowadays, the bioethanol is made of the corn's foods, and these can be food for the human, so which is not good, of course. And I have developed a procedure to make the bioethanol from the waste wood, waste paper, waste food from the, let's say, non-edible biomass to bioethanol. Next topic is the rechargeable battery. In brief, we have developed a lithium sulfur battery, which is 3 to 4 times at least stronger than commercially used lithium ion battery. And we are trying to improve more. And I got a trademark, Next Dimension. We are soon launching the Next Dimension battery product in the near future, within a few months. Why we do this? Because the rechargeable battery is that characteristic and capacity is very much critically determined by the electrode and the electricity, which is a critical material. And a big company like Toyota, Tesla, CATL, Korean, Samsung, LG, they do not much of a technology into the materials, but we do. So we do synthesize cutting edge material in our company and make them battery ourselves, which means theoretically we can be better than them, theoretically. But anyway, so we are trying to become the battery manufacturer, car manufacturer, maybe in the near future. Okay, so the next topic is a quantum dot. I'm going to omit the detail, technical detail, but let's say it's a super tiny material. It's when some certain material becomes tiny, then some material becomes fluorescent. But anyway, omit the detail. Let's say, for example, one of the applications is a quantum dot solar cell. It's called, it's theoretically that can be stronger than conventional solar cell, at least 3 times stronger. Sorry, it's a little bit hectic presentation today, but next one is the Pico technology. So beyond the nanotechnology, I named the Pico technology. Pico is the 1 unit smaller than nano. 1,000, it's like 10 to the power of minus 12. Anyway, let's call it, it's a super porous material. And super porous material application, again, I'm going to omit the detail, but for example, water harvesting from the extreme dry conditions such as desert, Mars, space, with the heat of the sun and a little bit of electricity from, for example, solar cell, then we can obtain water from the extreme dry condition. The other, for example, another application we are doing is a hydrogen-based fuel cell. That, for example, the problem of the fuel cell is the platinum as a catalyst is very expensive, obviously, and we can make a platinum alternative catalyst with this Pico technology, metal organic framework material. This is a CO2 capture and conversion, and it's called the process of photosynthesis. From the air, we can make the, in brief, from the air and water, we can make the chemicals. It's a little bit very advanced topic, but we are doing this as well with our special catalyst. So business situation is that since we do these very advanced cutting edge materials, the profit rate is quite good, but the business is still, sales is like $1.52 million per year, but it's rapidly growing. So for example, this nail, biodegradable nail, this might be interesting. So let's say with our cutting edge material, we actually try to offer the actual technology for the Cleantech environmental problem. And yes, thank you very much for your interest in our company. Thank you.
Thank you, Mori-san. Thank you for your presentation. And if you have any questions, please type in your question in the Q&A box. And when we are waiting, I have one question. what are differentiations from the other 100% biomass plastic resin manufacturers? What are differentiations from the other 100 biomass plastic resin manufacturers?
Okay, so for example, like material called PLA, polylactic acid, is also 100% nature material. But with the PLA itself, it's very difficult to do the molding. For example, the major molding procedure is injection molding, but with just one pure PLA, you cannot do the molding, and you're gonna need a special machine and modification to the machine. Whereas my material is our material with the without any modification to the machine, while keeping the 100% nature biomass, we can do injection molding in the mass production level. The key is actually the additive, including a nanocellulose. For example, like PLA, they need to add the petroleum-based additive to do the mass production. But we just keep the 100% nature additive as well. It's hard to explain, but you know,
Okay.
I hope you understand.
Okay, I think the person who questioned this will understand. I have to catch up with these. So any other questions? So, okay, if you have any questions, it's a lot to process this presentation, each startups. So if you have any questions after this event, please reach out to us and we're gonna send you an inquiry form as well. So please ask the question later. So it's almost time to end. Hold on. Okay, one last question. That question, previous question, also leads to how many years it takes to be biodegraded.
Yes, precisely the majority of the material, this 100% nature material, biomass material, is the PLA. So PLA is said to be biodegradable. For example, in the soil, 3 to 5 years. In the ocean, more than 10 years. But it depends on the condition. For example, in a condition called compost condition, PLA can be biodegradable within 2 weeks. So there is a degree of certificate from the compost, water, seawater, soil, air. You know, there are kind of a degree. It's easier to explain with the slide, but I don't have it today with me. And anyway, let's say mine is in the soil 1 or 2 years. But for example, this another type of resin.
It depends on condition.
It depends on material. One of my material can be biodegradable in the marine environment within a few months. That's a different product we have. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's now everyone has contributed their stellar ideas, concepts, products, and approaches, thereby increasing our awareness and understanding. So Nick, it's time to probably wrap up. Tomorrow is holiday here also.
Yes, exactly. On my behalf as well, thank you so much for all our 6 participating companies. We've gathered a lot of different topics here. And as mentioned throughout today, we will be sending an inquiry form with more details about the companies, also the recording of today, so you can look more into the details of the presentations. And if you're interested in contacting these companies, together with Nordic Innovation House and Osaka Innovation Hub, we will facilitate these conversations. But without further ado, I think it's time to conclude the presentation and the event for today. Thank you, Megumi-san. It's been a pleasure co-hosting this event with you. Thank you to everyone who attended. It was a long session, but we still have plenty of attendees with us today. So thank you so much for staying until the very end. And as mentioned, tomorrow is a national holiday in Japan. So we will be in touch with all the participants on Wednesday. And thank you all, and wish you all a lovely continuation to your day.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Nick. And I would like to add that thank all the participation and guests for being here today too. And I would like to also extend our gratitude to Nick, especially to work towards the event. So yeah, so we would like to continue this event and then relationship with Nordic Innovation House Tokyo and everybody, startups. So we look forward to working with you again in the near future.